All right, welcome to Option Select, where you get to hear the news of the gaming industry as well as some discussion on the latest topics from us at Offstage Malaysia, your local Nintendo-centric community right here in Klang Valley, Malaysia. All right, this week, okay, not even just this week, there's been tons of news, not even counting the fact that we had a new console launch with the Switch 2, State of Play, Summer's Game Fest, as well as the 3 weeks that passed since the last Option Select. There's tons of news, tons of games to go through, and tons of excitement. But today, I'm not going to be the one to talk to you about the news. I will pass to Cam and Habo to tell you the news and not even some, a lot of the games that got featured and shown off just this past week.
Alrighty, hello there. My name is Camping, and with me here is Habo. And
hello, guys.
Today we'll be going through some of the headlines. Of course, we've got a lot to go through today. We've got stuff like the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out. We've got the State of Play, and then we've also got Summer Games Fest. So let's just get right into the thick of it, right? Firstly, Nintendo Switch 2 is out in basically most areas of the world.
Ooh.
Not our area, unfortunately, but
Not
it is what
yet,
it is,
yeah,
right?
not
So
yet,
I think for like USA and like most of the other major regions, it's been out since June 5.
Yeah.
And actually, some of them broke street dead early, like for at least a week actually. And some people have been trying to play around with it, and there have been a few misconceptions that we're gonna try and squash right now. One of them being that you can't use your Switch before launch. So what actually happened was they tried to use the rumor was that they were not able to use their Switch at all, like because for some reason there was supposed to be some kind of day one patch, but turns out no, it's just the online functionality that wasn't working. So actually it was okay. They could have just plugged in the games and still played with no issue whatsoever. One thing that is a concern though is that there were no reviews until launch date, so no one was able to get their hands on a Switch 2 early. No one was able to get their hands on Mario Kart World early, and so everything's only coming out now. That said, the reception of the Switch 2 has been pretty positive, so I think there's not much to worry about there for Nintendo fans. We've got a lot of talks of performance boosting on games like Pokemon Scarlet Violet. We'll talk about that later. We've got plenty of other games getting boosts through updates. Mario Odyssey getting 4K. There's a lot of things around, right? So I think we're gonna be eating pretty good with the Switch 2, I will have to say. Of course, that isn't the only thing around. We've got a whole ass week of news, gaming. State of Play and Summer Games Fest just happened this past week, and here we are today to cover it all.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the game announcements that have been happening this week, right? We'll start with State of Play, right? This was quite a good State of Play, I have to say, right? Starting off, we have Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, the Ivalice Chronicles. So I'm sure a lot of people will be keeping their eyes peeled for that. After all, FF Tactics is back, right?
Yep.
We've got a new 007 game.
Yes.
007 First Light, made by the people who made Hitman. So that's gonna be an interesting thing. Astrobot getting DLC for a challenge mode.
Yeah, for challenge mode. For those who thinks that the base Astrobot is not that challenging, fear not, because the developer actually made DLC for this game to make sure that it's more challenging for veteran players, especially for like 3D platformer players.
Damn, all right. I actually did play a bit of Astrobot, and I did manage to finish pretty much most of the hard levels, I can understand the sentiment.
It is easy, actually.
Yeah,
it is easy.
Anyways, Astrobot done. We've got Ghost of Yote, more gameplay revealed in July.
Yes.
So I guess we won't see so much right now, right?
Most probably next month. Yes.
We'll run through a few more games that we're more interested in. So there's this game, Tides of Tomorrow, that I've been looking at, which is like, I recognize the developer. They made this road trip roguelike called Road 96, right? And then they're making this game as well. I like how they're actually including multiplayer elements into this one, right? So I'm actually looking to see if this one is gonna be a bang or not.
It looks complicated in terms of game design, but let's see how they can pull it off, because now it's multiplayer, it's not single player anymore. So there's
I
a
don't know
lot
how
of
I don't know how the
things
multiplayer works yet. So maybe
Yeah.
keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Yeah.
We've got Hirogami, who was made by
Bandai Namco Singapore, Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia represent. Let's
Yeah.
go. It's a platformer game where you turn into different origami folds to like traverse the scenes
world,
and
yep.
just like adventure.
Paper Mario Origami King? I don't know.
Okay, buddy. We don't have to put everything to
Yeah.
Paper Mario. To Mario, yeah. Okay. We've got Sword of the Sea, from the people behind
The Journey.
Journey,
Yeah.
The Pathless, right? Those
Yeah.
those like really, I think they're very pretty games, right? Giant Squid, basically. These are the people who made the game, and so far, I know this game has been revealed before. They just showed more gameplay here, and I'm actually very happy with what I've seen. I think I'll be picking that up game day one. All right. We've also got Silent Hill F. I don't think we can not talk about that one, right? It's
Yeah.
quite a big deal since it's also being made by Konami.
Yep, it's because like Silent Hill, the last Silent Hill is just a remake of the old one. This one is a newer Silent Hill that's been made since for a long time. This time around, the setting itself again, most probably everyone likes it. It has happened in a Japanese lore.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting to actually like pivot a little bit to a different setting, but I'm not really the expert on that, so I'll probably move on.
Yep.
And we've also got another game from Konami, right? Metal Gear Solid Delta. That one was, what do you call it? It's the collection, right?
No, it's actually Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. It's in Unreal Engine.
Okay.
Yeah,
My bad. There we go. I can't believe Konami's making games again.
Yeah.
We've got a Pragmata update. Glad to see that one's still alive. It's being delayed to 2026, but at the same time, they have a release date. That's better than what we could have asked for.
Yet at least we have a remake.
Yeah.
Of course,
They're very cute with their delay announcements. The little
The
letter. Yeah, it's really nice.
yeah. But no, in Capcom, they'll pull it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do believe in that. We've got a few more here. Suda 51's next game, Romeo is a Dead Man. Another one of those action games where weird things happen, and the reason why it's called the Dead Man because you're half dead.
Yeah.
Actually half dead. I watched the trailer. It's really trippy sometimes.
Yep.
But, typical Suda 51 style, right? We've got Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement, which is a prequel to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yep.
So we've got that. And then we have a big one here for us fighting game players. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Oh, we'll be talking about this one later for sure.
Yes, which talk about later. Made by Arc System Works.
Yeah, that was really surprising, but we will watch this game with great interest.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to take away the Summer Games Fest features?
Real quick. So, first thing, Death Stranding 2. They have a new clip showing 2 more new actors joining into the fray.
Yeah.
So basically, Hideo Kojima again managed to like
The power of Hideo Kojima and just like making things cinema,
yeah.
So I
high
can
quality.
really see it here. But otherwise, we know the game's already coming out at the end of this month, if I'm not mistaken. So expect to see the game in like players' hands soon enough.
Yep.
Right?
Hopefully the gameplay itself could be different from like the first one. Hopefully.
I don't remember. there are some previews on it, and I think you won't be convinced if like you didn't like the first game. You're probably still not gonna like the second game,
Mhm.
but that's okay because
Okay.
it's its own thing, right?
Walking simulator.
Whoa there. Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
okay, buddy.
Okay, this one I'll take it over. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. For the Sonic fans out there, we have more news. Extreme Gear is back. So yes, yeah. So this one is basically a love letter for those who have been like playing all the Sonic games for the past a lot of years.
Sonic Riders.
Yeah, Sonic Riders. And during this Summer Game Fest, they have announced there will be a few more characters in Sega roster, such as Miku, Ichiban, and Joker.
The Miku's not even Sega, right? Actually, no, it kind of is.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Now that I
is.
think
They
about
also
it.
do the arcade games.
Yeah. They also got Minecraft Steve in there as DLC.
Yeah, third party games.
That one's wild. That one's
character
wild.
in there. Yeah.
And then also a little extra, but Takashi Iizuka, right, also mentioned that there will be crossplay for this game. So, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to buy specific.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about which version you will purchase.
Alright, so another one would be Code Vein 2, which will be released next year, which is 2026. It's basically a sequel to the first one.
Yeah, the anime Souls-like genre that actually, like, I believe this one actually, like, the original Code Vein was actually pretty good. So I think they performed well enough for a sequel. So hope to see good things, continue coming from it.
Yep.
All right.
Right. Next one would be something that is like basically all the art style goes to like it goes from Cuphead, which is like mouse.
I like how you're using Cuphead. I like how you're using Cuphead as the
Cuphead
reference.
as it's a very first point. Then after that we see.
I think like what is called is rubble hose style
Rubble hose
animation,
style,
right?
okay.
Like how the old Mickey Mouse animations were like. So yeah.
Mouse PI for hire.
Yeah.
So basically, it's basically a first-person shooter in an old school Mickey Mouse style,
Yeah.
and basically being voiced by none other than the voice of Joel.
I don't know who they're gonna put his voice in. Everyone in there is like, anthropomorphic animals, and just like randomly hearing one of them is Troy Baker. It's gonna be super funny, dude.
Hey, but for some reason they got Troy Baker in, so most probably the investors they have a lot of investors.
I'm actually looking forward to this one also. The art style is just too good.
Yep. Okay.
We've got a new Game of Thrones RTS.
Yep, real-time strategy, which coming out on 2026.
Yeah, called Game of Thrones: War for Westeros. Okay, I think you want to talk about the next two. We got
these two happens in the same universe. One is Atomic Heart 2, which is obvious is a sequel for the last Atomic Heart.
How would you describe Atomic Heart actually?
It's basically almost like the vibe that I got is almost like BioShock, but in a different settings.
Yeah, I suppose so,
Like,
right?
yeah.
So you can expect more of that for Atomic Heart 2, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, another one again is in the same universe, but it's a different genre of the game, which is called the Cube MMO, which is a multiplayer MMORPG made by the same dev. Yeah.
I'm surprised that they actually have the capacity to do this, honestly.
How
They're
many
making
people are
MMO
in there?
I don't know. They're making MMORPG and like a high budget first person shooter at the same time. I'm very impressed. Hope it goes well, right?
Yeah, it's their IP. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have confidence in it, and we'll see how.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Next one would be something that all the Capcom lovers wants it for so long, which is Onimusha: Way of the Sword.
Dude, I'm looking at the gameplay too. I'm actually like quite interested in playing it myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it looks interesting. I just like action.
Action, right? Basically, like the very first few, like they have a lot of action in there, but we'll see how, because not much has been revealed. Yeah.
Although there has been more gameplay shown in this trailer, so I am actually from that I am actually looking. I think I'm a bit more interested in seeing where this game goes, lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one would be this one is a new IP. A lot of new IP in Summer Game Fest. Feel That Boxing, which is basically a puppet boxing game.
Jeff Keighley has had enough of his puppets, and now they want to duke it out. To be fair, it is made in Unreal Engine 5, and the visuals for it are absolutely phenomenal. It almost looks like proper like puppet cinema, but like. And then you see the UI and there's actual like game elements in there. You're like, wait, this is gameplay. This is actually gameplay, right? There's actually gameplay. It's actually really amazing. So good to hear.
Yeah, great art direction for the dev, because hey, we have a puppet game right now. It's proper puppet game. It's a breath of a new, fresh air. Like it's a breath of new air, because like we've been like a lot of AAA this time around, but now we have a lot of.
We got a good mix. We got a good mix. Yeah.
All right. Another one would be this one might be a AAA, but not too much, which is called Arc Riders.
Raiders.
Arc Raiders, which released around October 30.
Yep. Not much to say there. Right? I think those following the Arc series from should be pretty familiar with this game coming out soon. So see how that goes. We've also got Dune Awakening, which is an MMO set in the Dune universe, which is also coming out. Actually, like it's coming out in a few days, June 10th. So
next week.
Keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. This one is an interesting one. We have a 2D adventure game which has a very interesting art direction, which is called Mio. It was announced last year, and it will come sooner, later, maybe this year. And the demo is actually out right now.
Yeah. The full name of the game is Mio Memories of Orbit. So if you want to go and search that up, you can do that instead of accidentally searching Mio from Xenoblade 3.
Not Mio. It's only.
Yeah.
Not that Mio.
Speaking of unique art styles, right? We've also got Out of Words, which is a co-op game with a very interesting art style. I don't know how you would describe it. Perhaps you could put it into words
It's
better.
more like a puppetry. I saw behind the scenes where most of the things are in there is animated, like stop motion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the
it's
trailer
not like 3D
really
animate,
the
but
trailer really gives off that vibe, right? And it's actually stop motion
It's
is actually
kinda,
very
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
It must have taken a lot of effort to build that game.
Yeah, but again, they managed to pull it off. A very great art style, and it's kind of stand out from all of the like games shown in the summer game.
Yeah, for sure. It's coming out in 2026. No other information, so we're gonna have to wait until then.
Yep.
Right. Next, we've got Mafia: The Old Country, another entry in the Mafia series, which has been dormant for a while, right?
Yeah.
This game is coming out on August 8th.
2 more
Okay.
months to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, we've got Lego Voyagers. Lego is dabbling with some more co-op here. This one's gonna be interesting because it's 2-player co-op. We've written here that it's like the Lego version of Split Fiction, but the art style itself is actually very cute.
Yeah.
I gotta say. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. Maybe like if you got like children, you could like play this game with them and have some fun together.
Just chill around with it.
Yep.
All right. The next one would be Lies of P Overture. So for those who are Lies of P fan who played it last year,
I played it this year.
Oh no!
I played it this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
Yeah, before it left Game Pass.
Oh, it left Game Pass.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass, but it left already. So now you have to like buy the game if you want to play the DLC.
Yeah. So for those who just played or who wants to get more out of it, it is a paid extension, and of course it is out right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to play it, just go ahead, download it, purchase it, and play it.
Provides about like 10 to 12 extra hours of gameplay, right? Which is pretty chunky for a DLC, I must say. So I'm like considering it for sure. You want to talk about the next one?
Oh, this one is actually my favorite in terms of how they approach the player psychology wise. If you guys know, this next game it's kind of mix of Doki Doki Literature Club and Silent Hill, which is called Fractured Blooms. So it's basically a bit of farming game, but you are
That's what I thought.
but actually you are in a time loop and something is wrong. So basically, like Doki Doki Literature Club, it will feature some of the psychological horror elements in there.
Yeah, like the UI bugging out.
Yeah.
Or like things that are not where they should be. It's, horror people. They like being creeped out. I think this one's gonna be a good one.
Yes.
Right.
I was actually looking forward for this. Maybe
Yeah.
I buy a PC version for this. We'll see how.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a few anime related stuff here, but I think the one I will focus on is 7 Deadly Sins Origins, which is a new action adventure game. Actually, pre-registration is available right now on Netmarble's website, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. And then moving from there, we actually have a new game from the Shovel Knight developers, Yacht Club Games, called Mina the Hollower. From what I've seen on the gameplay, it looks definitely more like a top-down, sort of like Zelda, like the older Zelda games, right?
Yeah.
So interesting to see, like they've decided to take their expertise in a different direction. It's still pixel art though, so the style that you all know and love from the Shovel Knight series.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Deadpool. Oh,
we
okay.
are in VR. So this one again, it's been it's the first game since since their last game in 2013.
I played that game. It was
You
pretty
played
funny,
the
but
game.
it was definitely pretty funny. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
depends. For me, it's like sometimes yes, sometimes
I was young and dumb.
Yeah, for those who are looking forward to it, it will be released later in Christmas season, which is late 2025. Yeah.
Got it. Next
Alright,
one.
Next one would be for those who are keen into Dying Light 1. We have a sequel for the Dying Light 1, which is called Dying Light The Beast. It's actually featured the same protagonist from the Dying Light 1 for those who like Kyle. So,
There is a Dying Light 2 though. So like, where does Dying Light the Beast fit in the timeline?
I think most probably 2 happens maybe after a long time, after the first protagonist time. Yeah, because there's a Easter egg of how much time apart between the Carl, like the first protagonist time and the second protagonist time. Yeah, so there's an Easter egg of how long it actually happened.
Well, this game's coming out on August 22nd, so just like keep your eyes peeled for that one. Next game, Mixtape. This one from Annapurna Interactive. I know they've had a bit of a falling out recently, right? But I think they're still seemingly able to pump out some interesting looking games here.
Yeah.
This one features a bunch of rebellious teens doing rebellious teen things, and it's got a great 2000s vibe with a pretty bomber soundtrack. So I recommend keeping your eyes peeled on this one. Right.
My first impression, the gameplay might be similar to the Life of Strange, except there might be no choices in between.
There was a bunch of gameplay where you're doing a lot of different things, so I think they gotta spice it up, right? Speaking of spicing it up, why don't we spice it up with some Indonesian energy here? We've got X of Blood, solo dev from Indonesia made this one, so more Southeast Asian representation. You like to see it. Coming out in summer 2026, this how do I put it? It's a brawler type game where like you're fighting off like enemies in like how do I describe it? Maybe I could say it's like similar to Sifu, right? In a sense.
Yeah, similar to Sifu.
Right.
Yeah.
You've also still got weapons. In fact, like part of the trailer does feature a similar reference to the. Good. I don't know the Bruce Lee movie, but it does have that one scene. If you know that scene from Sifu and you've probably seen the trailer for Acts of Blood, you know what I'm talking about. So that's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim EX.
Another
We actually have a new Scott Pilgrim game, huh?
Yeah. For those who doesn't know what Scott Pilgrim is, their last game is actually 15 years before since the last game released in 2010. They have a release which happens in 2021, but the new game is actually released by maybe next year or this year or next year. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a new game. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Skipping over a few here that were not so big on, we actually come up to a collab here. We've got Hitman X 007.
Oh, that one.
Okay, you want to talk more about this?
I won't talk about it. I will talk about it because I play Hitman, all the trilogy. So basically, what happens here is Hitman is going into a mission in a mission where, for James Bond fan, there is a enemy called Les Shafir from Casino Royale. It's a James Bond movie way back then in 2006, 2006. So basically, in this DLC, Hitman himself
Agent 47.
Agent 47 will try to hunt Les Shafir. But again, this is a limited event. So for those players who wants to play it, better play it now before Les Shafir disappears. It's actually
he's an elusive target, right? From what we saw in the trailer. So keep your eyes peeled. All right. Next up, we've got another game from the Guacamelee devs called Blighted. This one looks to be more like a, how do I put it, the isometric perspective of Hades, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Metroidvania, and if there's anything I know about the Guacamelee game, right, I just know it's good. So I have faith And looking at the art style as well, right? It's very, very interesting. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this one. Maybe I'll pick it up as well, right? And you probably want to talk about the next one.
Yeah, the next one. Okay, the next one for me, it sticks me the most in terms of how they present their enemy. It's called this game is called IAL. It just announced again in the recent Summer Game Fest. It's a first-person. Okay, it's a first-person horror, and it's made in Unreal Engine 5. It might be similar to Resident Evil, but once you guys see the trailer, it has very unique theme where most of your enemies are actually humanoid, but distorted humanoid. Maybe some of them is big, or maybe some of them is like maybe crumble, become a spider. So it intrigues me. I really want to try to play it because how carefully designed the enemy is with the same human like body humanoid.
I will say, like, Unreal Engine 5 makes that game look incredible. I will say, like, oh my god, I'm quite very impressed with how Unreal Engine 5 have been making games look in the past year alone, right? For example, Clay of Skill also I believe uses Unreal Engine 5.
Oh yeah.
So I can't wait to see more, honestly.
More Unreal Engine 5, yeah.
But you know, we don't always have to talk about that. We've also got the RE engine, and guess what runs on the RE engine? Street Fighter 6. They have their Year 3 DLC announcement. New characters: Sagat, Ingrid, Sea Viper, and Alex. And in the trailer, they got Kenny Omega dressed up as all this. Honestly, funniest bit I've seen from Street Fighter in a while. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, they'll be releasing steadily over the next year. So keep your eyes peeled if you're a fighting game fan. You know, gonna see some pretty interesting shakeups in terms of the characters. Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about next one?
Yeah, the next one would be something almost similar with Stellar Blade, which is Wuchang Fallen Feathers, which is a female protagonist. It's made in China. The developer is called like Lindsay. Yeah, and her ability is actually changes depends on what costume she is wearing. So
I'm actually looking forward to seeing more games come out of China, right? Because the thing is, the visual style of Chinese-made games obviously is very different from what you see in Japan and what you see in the West. So I'm glad to see, like, after Black Myth Wukong, right, you get to see more of these action games come out. Also, it's very important that they're action games. I just love action games in general, and just like, I don't know, hitting things feels good, all right? So I'm very glad to see that. You know what else? You get to hit things in Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. We've got a game featuring the Wu-Tang Clan. You get to create your own custom fighter and beat a bunch of other people. I don't know. The art style, it does look very nice as well. So
yeah.
I will also keep my eyes peeled for this one. I won't say too much on this. So we'll move on to the next one. Into the Unwell.
Yeah. So basically, it's a very it again like Cuphead style. It is in a surreal cartoon world. Yeah, it's played in a 3D action gameplay roguelite.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to describe this, right? Because the most standout thing about this game is absolutely its visuals, right? The fact that we got two Rubble Host type games, right? It's pretty interesting, right? Mouse already looks great, right? And then you have Into the Unwell that has a different take on the animation style, you know? So I love to see more of these games come out.
So it means that like your realistic graphic doesn't make everything ready. Sometimes you have to take the bold action and go to the other art direction that you guys interest the most. Yeah.
For sure. Anyways, we've also got Splitgate 2. They have a sequel to the first Splitgate, showing off a new Battle Royale mode. So I don't know what to think about Splitgate 2 right now, but I do know that the movement in that game is pretty good, so I hope to God that Splitgate does well here as well. Anyways, besides that, gonna move on to something I think a few of us here are a bit more interested in. Stranger Than Heaven is a new game from RGG. I was not expecting a new game to look like this. Right, it's revealed.
Good.
You actually... Oh,
yeah, it was revealed. Okay, last year, it was revealed as a Project Century. Yeah, they only show a few scenes in that game and announced it as a Project Century. Now, in Summer Game Fest, we know the full name is Stranger Than Heaven.
I see.
Yeah.
I actually cannot remember what it looked like back in the Game Awards 2024, but whatever we're seeing right now looks amazing, I will admit, right? But, you know, considering that was the second last thing they shown, suddenly they surprised everyone with Resident Evil Requiem.
Oh.
Resi fans are eating really good. New female protagonist as well. Unfortunately,
Possible.
I'm not really the biggest fan myself, unfortunately, but I do know that like a lot of people follow Resident Evil, so really, really good for them, right? The franchise has been performing very well lately too. So yeah, that's the announcements. We are done with the announcements. We can get to releases. You wanna take it away?
Okay, real quick, because almost out of time. Real quick, Bravely Default Flying Fairy has been remastered on Switch 2, released on
June
5th of
5th,
June.
yeah.
Civilization 7 on Switch 2, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, which includes all the DLC, Switch 2. Fusion.
We're gonna see a lot of Switch 2 June 5th, alright?
Yeah, a lot of release
It came
on
with
Switch
the
2.
release of the Switch 2, you gotta have it as a launch title.
Fast Fusion, Switch 2, almost similar gameplay to Wipeout. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, which is the first part of the FF7 remake, includes the Yuffie DLC Integrate, also on Switch 2. Fortnite announced as a Switch 2, released on June 5. Okay, everything that I'm saying here is
gonna be Switch 2.
Switch 2 and release. Hitman World of Assassination, all 3 chapters of Hitman.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, also on Switch 2. Hogwarts Legacy, Switch 2. Again, everyone's favorite first party game, Mario Kart World on Switch 2. Console, of course.
The console itself.
Yeah, console itself is
You know?
also launched as well 2 days ago.
You gotta remember the welcome tour.
Yeah,
The 10
bucks.
10 bucks.
$10 for it.
Yes.
All right, go through real quick. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma also in Switch 2.
Street
Fighter
Fighter
6 Year 1 and Year 2 edition.
We saw it has all the DLC up to Elena.
Yeah, Elena.
June 5th.
June 5th. 2 of the recent 2 the Legend of Zelda games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, also on Switch 2. Together with upgraded version of the game, if you guys want to purchase it. Parallel Experiment also on Switch 2. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Dune's Awakening, Mind's Eye. I'm just gonna skim through it.
Okay, Dune Awakening and Mind's Eye are coming out on June 10th. So
Yeah, June
that
10th.
is different from the rest of the Switch releases so far. The rest of these will be different.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is coming in the future. Warhammer for 40,000 Space Marine Master Crafted Edition. It's basically
40,000. 40K!
it's basically a complete version of Warhammer for 40,000. We're coming on June 10. The Altars. June 13. Bear with me. Jake's Trilogy.
Gex Trilogy.
Yeah.
June 16.
Yeah.
We've got FBC Firebreak on June 17.
Yeah. By Remedy Entertainment, for those who also work in Alan Wake 2.
The part of the Remedy connected unit. Wait. Expanded universe. Yeah, I think that's the word they use.
All right.
Right. Kitty Builder. June 17.
Yeah.
You like cats?
Cat likes cats.
You like
seem
cats?
like cat.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, June 17.
Raido Remastered, June 19.
Yeah.
And the last one of the games about to release in this month, which is Rematch, which is a soccer game 5v5.
Made by the Seafood devs, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's a great take.
I'm sure there's more here. In fact, right, we know that Death Stranding is also actually releasing in June as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, let's just go on to wrap up with the last few remaining miscellaneous announcements. Right, we've got Pokemon Legends ZA announcing their release date October 16.
Oh, finally.
We've got some FGC stuff that we should probably talk about. Evo Japan did happen in May, and there was a whole bunch of news. For example, Street Fighter 6 collaborating with Overwatch for new skins. Tekken 8 showing off Fakrum Run, as well as a little snippet of Armor King. We got Wolf in VF6, fan favorite, coming back. And then in terms of character releases, we've also got Guilty Gear Strive with Unica.
Yep.
We've got Grand Blue Rising with Galleon.
Galleon.
And we got Street Fighter 6 with Elena that just happened very recently. Hunter x Hunter and then Impact got a demo. If you're a fan of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or you like just really dumb fighting games, pick this up and just like try the demo. It'll be really fun. Elden Ring Night Rain manages to pass 3.5 million players. Congratulations to them, right?
Yep.
Tango Gameworks is back.
Yes.
Confirmed to be working on a new action game.
Is it a sequel for that one?
I'm hoping it's a sequel for
Hi-Fi
you know
Rush.
what.
Yeah.
You know what.
It's gonna.
Right? EA cancelled a bunch of Marvel games, Black Panther, and also shut down the studio behind it. A bit unfortunate, but the industry moves on, and I hope those people who got laid off are able to find new jobs, get back on their feet. Right. And we've got Persona 4 remake rumors, but I think we're gonna hold off until we see the Xbox.
Hopefully
showcase,
it's there.
Yeah. And finally, I get to glaze a little bit about my favorite game. Clear Obscure Expedition 33 hit 3.3 million sales on its 33rd day.
And just a bit of like context, in Malaysia, I tried to buy it in Malaysia, and for some reason I can't buy it because the stock is done finished.
Glad to know this game is doing well. It deserves all the success it has, man. And I think that's about it for our news section. We definitely had a lot to go through. So I think we can end it here.
We just ended here. Yes.
Just so much, man. I know we probably missed something. So if you ever, if there's anything else, we'll probably talk about it maybe next option select. Who knows?